Well, cyberbullying is something too many families would be all too familiar with. 1 in 5 children report some form of online harassment. Today, the government has moved to tackle the problem, introducing legislation to appoint a new commissioner who'd have the power to order offensive material be removed from sites like Facebook. Technology companies would face fines of up to $17,000 a day if they fail to comply. Paul Fletcher is the Parliamentary Secretary to the Communications Minister, and I spoke to him earlier.
If you're a child or a parent or teacher complaining on behalf of the child, you've been the victim of cyberbullying material, we ask you as a first step to complain to the service under their normal process, to report. But if there's no action within 48 hours, that's the minimum time period specified in the bill. The Commissioner can go a bit longer, but 48 hours is the minimum time period. If there's no action that occurs, no response within that 48 hours, you can then go to the Commissioner, and the Commissioner will then determine whether it is cyberbullying material, and if so, the Commissioner has the power to issue a notice to the large social media service saying, I've determined this to be cyberbullying material, targeted at an Australian child, you need to take it down.
And how long does the website or
how long respond? Again, the bill says a minimum of the Commissioner can set a period that's as short as 48 hours. Right. And so in cases where it's a high priority, the Commissioner can issue a notice that says, look, you've got to take this down within 48 hours.
What happens if they don't?
Well, then if they don't, under the bill, they can potentially be exposed to fines for each day that you don't respond, each day that you don't take down a notice.
After that 48-hour period?
Yes, once the period's expired, then there's the clock's ticking, and there's an obligation to take the material down in response to the notice. Each day that you fail to do that, you're exposed to a fine of up to $17,000.
Now, the key question, I suppose, here is what is defined as offensive material? What is defined as cyberbullying? Are you able to give us a description?
Yes. Well, the bill sets out a number of factors. So it's things like seriously intimidating, harassing, and so on.
Does it have to be some sort of threat of physical?
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't need to be a threat of physical intimidation, but it needs to be material that is, harassing, intimidating, and so on.
I'm trying to think of an example that might be, because it is a grey area. If a child in high school is being bullied online and they're being called a loser and we all hate you, does that mean cyberbullying or not? And
the way we've dealt with this issue, which as you rightly say is a complex issue, is we've put some, there's a definition in the bill. In addition, the Commissioner will develop some guidelines that will flesh that out. In my second reading speech today, I said that there's a number of factors that we expect will be brought to bear by the Commissioner on the question of whether the material is seriously intimidating,
and what are some
seriously
of those
harassing.
Questions? I mean,
so it's one of the ones you raised is this, repetition. So if material is repeated, all of the academic literature on cyberbullying says that increases its effect. Or the situation you've talked about where one person comes in with a critical comment and other people jump in with similar critical comments. And I'm sad to say that that has been the fact situation in teenagers who've committed suicide. I can remember meeting with the parents of one boy who committed suicide at a school, high school in outer Melbourne, and they showed me some of the material on Facebook, and it was a case of lots of people jumping in with critical comments that intensified the impact. So these are all factors.
I suppose the difficulty in this area too is some things that are said online can have a very different impact on different people depending on their psychological makeup.
That is true. Now, one of the other factors is this, that all the research says, and people who have complained to government about this have pointed out, that if you're bullied online, that's quite different to being physically bullied at school, because at least when you leave school and get home, you know you're safe. But if every time you turn on your smartphone or your computer, you're exposed to a stream of vitriol and abuse, you can't feel safe. The second very important factor in all the research is that kids who are being cyberbullied feel that they are being humiliated in public, that lots of people can watch. That's the very nature of social media. I mean, it's important to make the point, the internet and social media is a tremendously positive force for human interaction, but a proportion of human interactions online go wrong just as those offline go wrong. And to date, it's been very difficult to get that dealt with. If you're the victim of cyberbullying, it's very difficult to get the outcome that people consistently say they want, which is to get the harmful material taken down. Because until that happens, you feel like it's out there in public, everybody can see, everybody is laughing at you. So that's one of the reasons why we've established this legislative the framework in this bill, so that if there is material posted on a large social media service, cyberbullying material targeted at you as a child, you or a parent or a teacher on your behalf can make a complaint with a view to having the social media service take that down.
Technology companies are generally reluctant to get involved in monitoring, much less filtering what is done on social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the platform is. Will this inevitably mean they have to do more of that, mean more regulation for them?
It's important to recognise that the large social media services generally have complaint systems. They generally have a capacity where you can report material. They have terms of use which bar cyberbullying, harassment and so on, abusive material. So this is about, first of all, making sure that those systems are in place and they are performing in line with their stated policies, and that where something is not dealt with by them when it should be, even under the terms of their own policies, that there's somewhere that the complainant, the child who's been a victim, can go.
Of course, they point out that there are laws at a state and territory level that already deal with this. I mean, should a family or a child always go to this new commissioner, or should they go to police?
What the evidence suggests is that if you take a complaint about cyberbullying to police, the police are often not sure how to deal with it. Now, it is right that there's a range of criminal provisions in both the Commonwealth Criminal Code and state law which can be used to cover cyberbullying online, but it's a long, slow, cumbersome process, and in many cases the police understandably have a lot of competing priorities to deal with. So one of the roles of the E-Safety Commissioner will be to be a central point of contact for kids, for parents, for schools.
Should be their first port of call?
That will be the advice that will be being provided by the Children's E-Safety Commissioner as he or she takes up the role and starts to say, okay, when you've got a cyberbullying situation, how do you deal with it? Here's a first port of call. So that's very much what we're wanting to do, make this a place where you come if you've got a problem. If it needs to go to police, the Commissioner can refer it to police, but this legislation will give the Children's E-Safety Commissioner some very significant tools that in many cases will be able to resolve the issue.
Paul Fletcher, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.